Adolfo Yamakwaba Ediba Vimbas TV. So Cecilia Dapaah and Egusua are trending on social media. So now a lot of people ebisa say why Cecilia Dapaah a former member of parliament, Emma Bantama constituency, and current minister for sanitation. Now or trendy because allegedly the house helps no Yachiomo face court charges for stealing over $1 million, 300,000 euros, millions of cedis, any items worth millions of cedis as well from Nifie Ewo Abelenkpe. Now, Emra story we trendy, you know. A lot of people, in fact, STT say this was the money omu timi accounted for. So definitely, I said the money ananka a war Cecilia Dapaah fee, you know, definitely will be more than what the house helps stole. Question a lot of people ebisa and they say how did the house helps spend their money? Finally, TV34 Atuamobo break it down how these house helps spend this car allegedly from Cecilia Dapaah's house. Now, Ushe the breakdown at a point they bought house, they bought cars, just they gifted monies to people just any asem ketwa omo boyfriends any omo papa ni omo mama so a benefit from the alleged stolen money. Mumi yankoshe sa video no in full na F1 adventure F1 comment section
investigations.
Right.
Now, this is how they spend the money.
Tell me.
They bought a house which cost $70,000 and this house is furnished.
Finished house?
Yes, it's a furnished house.
At where?
This house is at Amahia, that's in Accra.
$70,000?
Yes. Now, A1 and A3 bought a Hyundai Elantra and that cost them 80,000 cedis.
So the A1 and A3 too, the 18-year-old?
Yes, so Patience and then the current boyfriend,
and the
Benjamin.
current boyfriend?
Yes.
They bought a Hyundai Elantra?
Yes. A1, who is Patience, gave 180,000 to A3, that's the current boyfriend, who also used it to buy a Honda Civic. Now, A1, who is Patience again, and then the boyfriend, Benjamin, they rented a 2-bedroom apartment at Tamale at the cost of 105,600 Ghana cedis for 2 years.
Wow.
A1 and A3, the same people, also rented a shop at Tamale at the cost of 120,000.
But why Tamale? I think that when we got into the church, there was a question about why Tamale. Why did they go in there?
So I think at the point they were hiding in Tamale.
Okay.
To put it that way, and in fact that's where they were actually arrested. When the police picked intelligence, they went there to arrest them, and that's where they also recovered some amount of money that I think they retrieved some $40,000 and then 72,619.70 Ghana cedis from them in that particular apartment in Tamale, the rented apartment. Okay. But of course, now this is where the other accused persons were brought in.
Great.
A1 gave 50,000 to A4, and A4 is A1's dad. That's Mr. Bochi. Right. And because of this 50,000, he has also been charged with dishonestly receiving. And unfortunately for him, if convicted, he will be treated as though he actually stole the money. Oh. Because that's what the law is.
I see. So the father of Patience,
yes,
who received 50,000.
50,000 from the daughter,
is going to be charged.
Has been charged already.
Has been charged.
Yes.
For
dishonestly receiving.
So
yes.
The court is expecting that what? He should have questioned
exactly
the source of the money.
That he ought to have known.
Either the 18-year-old daughter is giving to him.
Exactly. That's proceeds of stealing. A1 also gave 100,000 to A5. That's the ex-boyfriend. I think this figure was earlier quoted to be 1 million, but from the charge sheet, it is actually 100,000. And that's what A1 Patience gave to the ex-boyfriend.
So that's a very instructive one. So the report earlier suggested
it was a 1 million, but on the charge sheet that we have, it indicates that it's actually 100,000
so this
Ghana cedis.
Patience,
he too has been charged with dishonestly receiving.
I see. This is the ex-boyfriend.
The ex-boyfriend.
So Patience, 18-year-old, was magnanimous enough to give her ex-boyfriend 100,000 cedis.
Very kind of her.
Wow.
And the very last one, A2, who is no longer in the service of the complainants as a house help, also built a 3-bedroom house at Budumburam from the proceeds of whatever they were doing there. So she has been charged with conspiracy. She's been charged with stealing. And then, I mean, yes. So that's for her too.
So that's the former house help.
Yes.
Is the one who has gone to build
three-bedroom house at Bujumbura.
And so how much has the police retrieved again so far?
$40,000 and then 72,619.70 Ghana cedis.
Wow. This is serious category because some of them are alleged to be, engaged in money laundering and so on. So they have to question them a bit more to find out the source of their money. So you can understand why people raise questions about the source.
Right.
And why she's keeping that much money in there if the source is not questionable, is it not?
Right, yes, Alfred, and that's largely the conversation. There are others who are of the view that because she feels that she takes the money to the bank, there will be questions raised because of her anti-money laundering regulations and all that. That's the reason for which she did not want to take the money to the bank. But of course, because Mary Ada mentioned the money bit and the reasons, the fears that she was wondering why such huge sums of money will be home, I'll just do a recall of just the cash that was at home. The cash is in three denominations, not denominations, three currencies, sorry. One part of it is in cedis, one part in US dollars, and the other part is in euros. So the part that's in Ghana cedis is 350,000 cedis. The dollar bit is 1 million US dollars, and then the euros bit is 300,000 euros. For the other valuables, now we begin to talk of clothes and bags, which are valued to be 95,000 cedis. We talk of jewelry, also valued at 95,000 US dollars. We are talking of 6 pieces of kente worth 90,000 cedis, and of course, 6 sets of men's suit valued at 3,000 US dollars. It will be interesting to know who, but let's just put on record that these things were stolen only by patients.
That is the 18-year-old.
The 18-year-old, who is the substantive house help. So we are beginning to imagine who these things were given to.
Wow.
That's just on the side.
Just on and it's a very, very important side information to give. Mary, in 30 seconds, so there have been calls for the OSP to also take interest in this matter. Your take, please.
It is critical that the OSP becomes very interested in this matter because it is within his remit to also look at some of these. And if there is any way he does not even understand what is happening, then confiscation of assets also comes in there. And the worrying aspect is, according to the case, the lady went in to take these monies at various times. So it means there was much more. What she stole, which is quantified, is what we know about. So that is why there is a need to do further interrogation into this issue.
Out of a video I share in a year, a detailed breakdown of how this house helps spent the stolen money. Now, a lot of people so estate say Cecilia Dapaah should be sacked immediately pending investigation. Also, a bit issue statement as you can see on the screen. In brief, no, in the statement, Ochemu say what it is say, yeah, kase the house help for be $1 million plus millions of cedis and 300,000 euros among other properties. Or see, news are trendy and any no correct now at the right time, no. Or the side of the story, but that is just a summary of the statement that will issue here more here screen. So any further updates are a bit developing on this topic. No, yeah, the Kyle was a Vimba so and we wait my support here as by subscribing to our YouTube channel. A dia use our YouTube a Vimbas. Yeah, that's it.
Vimbas TV.